Here's what I'm dealing with. I've got my well pump over here, and then I've got the tank over here. Right now I've just kind of got it mocked up because eventually, once it's running correctly, I want to take and move the pump over to the side of the shed because the wellhead is actually right underneath there. So this actually runs that way. And in the past, with the old half horse, I just went straight up here, and then literally I just had the outlet and I would just plug it in and unplug it whenever I was running the sprinklers. That's why I wanted to add the tank to it. And I got the tank, like my Aunt Margaret's house had it, and it was for submersible. I mean, you can kind of see all this stuff right here. But it had one of those submersible like valves, the air volume control valve. But yeah, I didn't want to like do any hard plastics. I knew I was just gonna have to cut it all up. It's been holding that pressure since yesterday. When I first had it hooked up, I had it hooked up actually over here using the pressure switch on the side of the pump. I thought that was bad because it was short cycling. So maybe because it was a Chinese pressure switch, it wasn't working correctly. So that's when I used one of the spare Square D ones and basically have that one wired into the plug and then going over, bypassing the switch over there. You can see it doesn't leak, but I mean, I'll turn it on and run the sprinkler. But what I want is I want it to be able to be a self-contained system, like most well pumps are. And I mean, basically, you'll be able to run your well pump how you want it, get the water out. Because I know it exists because I see it all the time on pretty much everybody else's house. Hell, I had it working at my other house using an old copper tank and a 1909 Myers pump. That should be good enough. There, everything's turned off. And so now, plug it in. And now the pump is working. And it is pumping perfectly great. It's nice and quiet. And building pressure really nice and fast. And this is a brand new gauge going straight into it. I mean, you would think with this is a 30-50 switch, it would go all the way up to 50. Yep, there it goes. And it will just do that until it shorts itself out. And I don't know what the hell is going on. I mean, I completely unhooked this, took it all the way out, tipped it over on its side, drained it completely out. It only gets up to about 25. I did mess with that, the pressure switch settings after it started doing that. So, I mean, hey, if I have to put another pressure switch, I got two more back there. I've got another Square D one, and then I've got a spare one that the guy sent me. So yeah, I've got a Square D one right here, and then I've got this guy. I mean, I don't know what to do. I'm at a loss. I mean, if I should get a bladder tank, I will do that, but I don't want to spend $200 on a tank that I can't return once it's had water in it. But if I can get away with like one of those little, I forget the constant cycle valve or whatever the guy on the thread was saying, I'll do that because yeah, that goes right on top, and then my well housing only has to be so big and it doesn't have to be huge to fit that in there. Because I just didn't want to put all this together, hard piping it, after digging up my yard and moving everything, only have to rip it all apart again. So, I don't know, y'all tell me.